Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another NuubCast. Here we are spawning on the Lost Temple. This is a 1v1 with Dream. Dream, the red Protoss. Dream, I mentioned recently in a previous cast. I said his name was Archon. That's the name he goes by on TL, Team Liquid website. But apparently, he is Dream. And his opponent, M Edward, spawning here as the blue Zerg pieces. Welcome to NuubCast! If it's been a while since you've been with us, remember that you too can have your games cast on NuubCast simply by sending your replays to noobcasters@gmail.com. And any replays that you submit will be hand-selected by our team of crack statisticians and analysts. Just kidding, it's just me, pretty much, looking at replays. And if it's a fun game, if there's good back and forth, or if there's something really cool or interesting or terrible that happens in the game, then it will likely get cast. There is no real restrictions on games that you can submit. However, we do ask that you use good judgment and good discernment. You play this game. If you're watching this channel, then I assume you're probably watching some other channels, so you know very well firsthand what a good game looks like. And so use that good judgment in submitting your own games. Is this a game that you would want to see cast, that you would find interesting and know that others would find interesting as well? That maybe interesting isn't a good enough word, because some folks have been submitting games and saying, here's an interesting game, and it's basically a 20-minute turtle fest and one attack and dude is dead. But let's not do that, alright? Interesting means lots of things happen. And, you know what I mean. Lots of battling and attacking and back and forth. Just a bit of smattering of everything as we see M Edward. I want to say M Edward because that seems to flow much better off of the tip of the tongue. M Edward, but his name is M Edward, and so we shall call him thus. As this drone still alive, almost took the gas, but then had a change of mind, and then pays the price for his foolishness by dying. And we do have 1, 2, 3, and a fourth gateway going down for Dream. This is going to be a good old 4-gate. 1 gas, 4-gate. Our production tab. 5 minutes later. Why don't I know that whether or not the warp gate tech is going down? Oh, it's because I have no production tab. Yeah. We did have the early hatch getting some spines up for M Edward, not because he spies, but he will spy. What he should be able to get vision here. Let's look at M Edward's. No, he did get far enough up the base to see all of the tech, just the 1 gateway still, when he already knew about that because he had that drone in Dream's base for a good bit of time. Wow, I do not like this. I would say get back to 3, put down a Roach Warren at least to get up some more powerful units. 3 would probably be enough for this push. 5 is a little bit of overkill, and 2 more now. I do not like this at all. And the pylon to warp in more zealots. He could have had several lings, but he is going to keep them out, so I guess if that was your goal, then mission accomplished. They are not going to be able to push into that. He's going to have to wait much longer and get out many more units. However, M Edward is now, he just is not able to produce units unless he's just going mass spine crawler. I mean, what are you going to do? I guess you can. All right. If you're not going to produce anything else, then a single Stargate and a Void Ray is going to end your day pretty early. What is here? Oh no, not going to push. Just going to leave it be. Going to back off. And what? What will you do, Dream? Tell us. Show us. Be taking the... Not going to take the destructible rocks. I thought he was going to take those rocks and then expand there, but I guess not. Still no... We are getting a layer. Still no further tech units for M Edward. Okay, droning pretty hard here. Droning very hard, actually. The layer is just about to finish. About 5 game ticks. And stalkers. There is no further tech for... the warp prism coming out. I'm going to be able to spawn and transfer units up to the high ground and spawn right in the base. So I don't know how M Edward is going to be able to defend against this. We do see a changeling on the field. Going to get instantly killed. Gotta love that. And what we are going to see is a pylon on the low ground. A couple of pylons on the low ground. Then we're going to have a warp prism come in. That's going to drop some units, warp in some other units, and then spot for these other units as it transfers them over. Now these spine crawlers have moved from the low ground to the high ground, and some of them will have opportunity to get settled into their creep, as we do have finally some other higher tier units come out as Hydralisks are on the field. Where is the den? There it is. And so we might actually have a battle here between units as opposed to static defenses. And quite frankly, this is actually kind of scary. I'm guessing that M Edward was saving up some larvae for these Hydralisks. And now these force fields using the static defenses to help pin back the Hydralisks, and Queen coming up from the low ground to help out in the attack, but not enough, certainly not enough firepower from these Hydralisks to do anything against these Stalkers and Zealots. The Warp Prism still here for reinforcements, but it doesn't look like they're going to be necessary. The Roach Warren finally going down now, very late in this game. But I don't see how... we do have some more Zerglings coming up from the low ground. I don't see how M Edward is going to recover from this. We now have Zealots in the mineral line, killing drone after drone. Overlords going down. We do have some more Hydralisks. No Roaches coming up as of yet. Zergling speed just finishing, as well as Groove Spines, so the Hydralisks are going to have that increased range, but they are going down as fast as they are coming up, it looks like. 3 on the low ground, 2 on the high ground, separated. They are not going to be able to do very much damage. I think that M Edward is going to have to call it very soon. This force is overwhelming, and it looks like we have another overwhelming PvZ on our hands. Overwhelming and slightly one-sided PvZ. Again, this is another cold cast. It was interesting, though, to see the build of M Edward, starting off with all those static defenses. There was, what, like 7 spine crawlers, maybe 8 or even more. waiting for everything for that Hydralisk Den, and that seems kind of all-in-ish. Usually you don't see that kind of all-in at the at the 14-minute mark. That's not really the kind of activity you normally see. And even if Dream stayed back and didn't press Eminem Edward, by the time Eminem Edward got an army that was large enough to move out or to even defend later in the game, say at like the 20-minute mark, I mean, just how huge. There would have been Colossus on the field. There would have been all kinds of stuff on the field for Dream. Anyway, that is that. Hope you enjoyed it. And we will see you shortly. Keep climbing that ladder. This is Blombus, and I'm out.